Hello and welcome to the No Balls podcast. I'm your host, Patrick McDonald. With me, co-host Finn McDonald. Today, we are doing the MLB Bold Predictions episode for the 2025 season. Finn and I have both prepared an array of takes, and we're ready for these to bite us in the ass come October when we're grading these grades. Finn, do you have anything before we start?
Nope. Time to make these predictions, and I'm gonna be yelling at myself for about 7 months.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to not go very great. Um, that being said, these are bold predictions. These are not things that we think are going to happen. These are things that we think possibly could happen that probably aren't very likely. So, the nature of these is if we get half of these right, we did pretty damn good. And that's kind of the percentage that I shot last year. So, we'll hope that we go for those. Finn, do you want to start us off? What is your first bold prediction for this season?
The Chicago White Sox blow the loss record out of the water, somehow dropping more than 130 games.
Damn. So, Finn, they said it last year, correct? The White Sox, they broke the record last year, right?
Correct.
Okay. I feel like I should have known that more off the top of my head. They did break the record last year, and you're saying they're going to shoot over 130. I could see it happening. I think their roster is worse than it was a year ago somehow. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy. Do you want to elaborate more, or do you want to go forward to my first one?
The real elaboration is they lost Garrett Crochet. I think they would have lost 130 last year without Garrett Crochet. And their roster is even worse this year.
Yeah, even like on the rest of the roster's not any good either. So, yeah, they're gonna suck. I did go to their roster just to look for some guys that maybe I could make a couple bold predictions on. Didn't really have any. So, I'm ready to go forward to my first one if you want me to.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Okay, I'll try to go in an order of boldness. Yeah, no, I don't think I can quite narrow that one down. Look, since we're on the wins topic, I think that the 4 best regular season records are going to all be in the National League. Finn, what do you think about that one?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it'll be the Dodgers and the 3 NL East teams.
Yeah. I was definitely factoring in Arizona a little bit there.
Maybe Chicago sneaks in there and gets fourth.
Yeah, like Chicago could honestly be still better than any of the American League teams, or like a Milwaukee team still having a really good year like they did a year ago. I think that the 4 best regular season records will be in the National League for sure. After this episode, we might try to grade how hot these are, and maybe that'll factor into the grades we get next in October when we grade these. We'll see. If we have enough time, we'll do it. All right, Finn, let's go to your next hot take.
Next hot take is that 4 teams will lose 105 plus games.
4 teams will lose 105 plus?
Yeah.
Or 100 plus? Which one?
105.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay, what are these 4 teams you're predicting?
The Angels, the Rockies, the Marlins, and the aforementioned White Sox, and I predicted would break their own loss record.
Okay, so a real bottom feeding type of season. That's a bold one because the 105 makes it like an extra degree of difficulty. Yeah, Yeah, Finn, we're gonna have to go through that one at the end. That's probably hotter than most people would think it is. I would think. So that's a good one. I don't. Yeah, those are all some bad teams. Yeah, I could see it for sure. All right. Do you want to more on it?
Honestly, just four teams where I really do not like the rosters whatsoever.
Yeah, no, going through the Rockies, we're like, oh, this is shit. Oh, this is shit. Oh, this is shit too. Damn, like nothing was good on it. So, it was basically the same with all the other teams. I think if there's a team that's gonna mess it up for you, Finn, between those four, which one do you think it's gonna be?
I think it would be the Angels.
Me too. I was gonna say because their lineup isn't too bad on paper. Like I think they're going to hit. I just don't know. I don't think they're gonna be good at really anything else. So the Angels are funny. They could mess it up for you. You ready to move on?
Yep.
All right. I guess I'm just reading from the top now. Now that we're done with the wins thing, at least I am. All right. Home run leader for the entire MLB will be Brent Rooker. Past couple years, he's flirted with 40, and he's now moving from Oakland Coliseum to Sutter Heath Field, which is 330 feet to left field. Finn, what do you think?
I'd buy that.
Yeah, I mean, bold prediction. You know, I'm going for a league leader, so that you're very rarely going to predict a lead leader for something, and I don't think Brent Rooker would even be like a top 3 candidate to lead the league in homers. I think it's pretty bold. Finn, that's all I really got to say. I'll let you go forward to your next hot take.
That one, that's up there with my four teams losing 105 plus take.
It could be. We'll discuss the hottest takes here. Finn, what's your next one?
My next one is that Juan Soto will win the MVP in the NL, finishing with a
Okay.
1 for OPS.
Okay. Let's see. Has he one dotted in a full season? Because I mean, he did in the
He's
the
getting very dang close with a 999, but he was with the
okay,
Nationals.
yeah, and then he one dotted he one dot two'd in the COVID team in the COVID year. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty bold right there. I could see it because I predicted a National League MVP as well, Finn. I said Fernando Tatis wins the National League MVP. Reasoning. Last season he hit the ball ridiculously hard. And he didn't really see those results even though he still had a good season. Like his batted ball numbers looked like pre-suspension Tatis. And I could easily see Tatis like one dotting and playing like a really good defensive corner outfield. That's not a part of the prediction that it's a one dot, but I'd be very surprised if Tatis doesn't have like a huge return to form. Like his X slug last year was 538 and he slugged under 500. So it's an easy bounce back candidate, and Fernando Tatis is, I think, going to be awesome and win the MVP. So, Finn, unless you have any other comments, I'll let you go forward to your next take.
I agree that he will kind of like re-break out, but I think he's gonna pull a Christian Yelich.
Man, that Christian Yelich take was great for me last year, and then he got hurt, so I think I got like a 3. But anyway, I'll let
By
you keep
Christian
going.
Yelich, I mean you pretty much had the MVP locked up. Then he got hurt and lost to Cody Bellinger.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean because you said like re-break out, so I was assuming you meant 24 Yelich where he has this huge bounce back, but you meant 2019 Yelich where he had his best season of his career and then broke his kneecap.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. You got anything else on the National League MVP between Tatis and Soto?
No, I don't.
Two great players. Wish they were on the same team or something. Yeah, go ahead, Finn.
My next bold prediction is that somebody totally out of the blue is gonna win the Cy Young.
So you pulled a play out of my playbook from a year ago. It did pay off for me because I don't think Tarek Skubal was a great favorite, and Chris Sale definitely wasn't. So you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it, Finn. I like the take. I'll let you keep going though.
There's just always that one pitcher that just breaks out of the blue. Take Spencer Swellenbach from last year, for example.
Yep. I got two great segues here, Finn. Pick one or the other.
One.
Okay. So I had a take about Spencer Schwellenbach. My take is that Spencer Schwellenbach is going to be the Braves' highest pitcher by BWAR. So higher than Sale, higher than Fried, higher than Reynaldo Lopez. Not Fried, but Schreider. Yeah, shit, throw Fried in there too. He'll be higher than Fried. That's my take. Spencer Schwellenbach will be the highest. Will have the highest BWAR among Braves starting pitchers. What do you think, Finn?
I'd buy that. Chris Sale's due for some regression and health issues.
Yeah, and like Schwellenbach was kind of like legit last year. Like walked nobody, struck out a good amount of guys. He sometimes would get hit kind of hard, but hey, I believe in it. I believe in it. He'll have a great season. I don't think it'll be like a Cy Young season, but I think it could be like an easy all-star pitcher type of season from Schwellenbach. So and this is not so much a down on Schreider and Free or Sale take, because those guys were guys who I ranked in like my top 45 this season. I just really think Schwellenbach's great. It's not an indictment on those guys. I'm shouting out Spencer Schwellenbach. Finn, let's go forward to your next take.
Next take, there'll be 4 teams that are at least 500 in the AL East.
Okay. I can buy this one very easily because I think we said in the episode, but I think it's pretty likely. I think the American League's going to be really weak, and you're going to be able to pick up a ton of wins. I like the take, Finn. Maybe not super sizzling, but I could see. I'll let you get some explanation.
Honestly, what you said about the wins, only said 4, because I feel as if Toronto is not winning games, they are going to have a fire sale.
I agree 100%, Finn. I see. Ready to go to the next one?
Yes.
All right. We already talked about the Cy Young, for you at least. I'm assuming that's your only take related to Cy Young, so I'll go ahead and do mine. Jacob deGrom's winning the Cy Young in the American League. That's my take. Finn, I believe in it. He's gotten the elbow tuned up. Let's hope that he'll be down velo-wise. I didn't include him in my top 100 just because I want to see him healthy first. He's barely thrown any innings ever. I believe in a Cy Young Jacob deGrom season. Sitting 96, 97 instead of 98 to 100. I'm sure he'll add some new pitch. That'll help him. So, Finn, what do you think of the deGrom pick?
I'd buy that. I really think he has the talent to do it still, but he's got to be on the mound.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Also,
All right, what you got?
it'll be in your top 100 again real quickly if that prediction's accurate.
Maybe, maybe not. Probably with DeGrom it will though, because his run prevention's still been pretty great in the times that he's pitched the past 3 years. So, next player, Finn, what do you got? Or next prediction?
The next prediction I have is the Padres finish below 500.
Oh, with National League MVP Fernando Tatis, Finn, what's your explanation?
They're just doing bad at the beginning of the year. They fire sale off season king. Tatis might win the National League MVP, not even on the team.
Dang. So you're saying that Tatis has a chance to get traded? Okay.
100% I am.
Okay.
They fire sale season king, and then they get offered for top prospects for Tatis. They'll be bonehead not to take it.
Yeah. I can see it, Finn. I agree. I don't think that it will happen, but yeah, if they're offered a huge haul for Tatis, you kind of got to take it. All right. I lied when I said that was it with the Cy Young stuff. I have one more Cy Young prediction, Finn. This time it's for the National League, so as you know, there can't be 2 American League Cy Youngs. Blake Snell has a career year. Wins his 3rd Cy Young with his 3rd different team. I just believe that he's been so great run prevention wise, outside of the horrible start to the year last year with no spring training. And I think just going to the Dodgers will unlock a gear in him, because they always fucking do. And I'm sure he will have a better or an easier time staying healthy. And Blake Snell, Cy Young Award win. Finn, what do you think?
I'd buy that. It definitely will help him to have a spring training.
Yeah. When I was picking it, I was between him, Glasnow, and Yamamoto, who I wanted to shine some light on. I'm just going to shout out Snell. I think Snell's going to be awesome. I think between all those guys, I think he's going to throw the most innings. I think he's going to have the lowest ERA, probably the most strikeouts. This is not a part of the prediction. The prediction is that he's going to have a career year and win the Cy Young. So don't get it twisted. Anyway, Finn, what's next? What do you have?
What's next is that I have the Marlins trading Sandy Alcantara into the AL, where you will have a great year getting Cy Young votes, but not winning with Cy Young.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it. Out of the race, Sandy wants to be a contender somewhere. Yeah, I could see it, Finn. Yeah. You got anything else on that point?
I'd like to see him in Tampa too.
Tampa would be funny. Yeah, that would be funny.
Mainly because the Rays somehow get a pitcher we don't even know to become an all-star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Finn, how many more of these do you have?
Not very many more.
Okay. I have about 5 more. Let's see, which one do I want to do first? I want to do this one first. All right, Finn. It's time for the yearly. I don't know how this player is going to break out, but they're going to break out, so I'm just going to say it, that they're a 30-30 player. But I really do think this guy's going to go 30-30 this year. Lawrence Butler, I think, will go 30-30. He was awesome in the second half last year. Didn't quite sneak into my top 100 just because there's a couple more guys that I'm certain about, but Lawrence Butler comes back and just hit the cover off the baseball for 3 months after being called back up. And despite not being like overtly fast, he still steals bases really well. So that's Lawrence Butler for me. That's all I really have on him. What's your next take, Finn?
I'm going to do the big no-no, predicting early for the year, and it's either going to make me look great or bite me in the ass. I think Tanner Scott's going to win the NL.
Okay. I want to hear what's the reasoning.
He just went to the Dodgers. Pitchers usually have great years after going to the Dodgers.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, take a look at pre-Dodgers Evan Phillips.
Yeah, terrible. In the same bullpen as Tanner Scott at that point too, as well. But yeah, I can see it. Next take. Ooh, all right. I don't think this is a super hot one. I like this one. O'Neal Cruz is a Gold Glove finalist in center field next season. I think he's going to be great out there defensively. He had a clear negative OOA as a shortstop last year, and then he was like pretty significantly positive just being thrown out there in center field in the middle of the season. I think with spring training and just more experience playing there, I think he'll be a Gold Glove finalist. I don't think he will necessarily win it. I think there's a good chance that, he doesn't have a shot because there's guys like Jacob Young and Brendan Doyle. But O'Neal Cruz, I think, could easily be a finalist. So, what do you think, Finn?
Yeah, I'd buy that. That height, that range, on a good
That
arm.
speed, just a cannon out there too. Like I think he's gonna be great out there. He'll be great. Next take, Finn. What do we have?
We have the A's somehow managed to get the third AL wildcard spot.
Well, Finn, as you can tell by my predictions, they're gonna have 70 plus home runs from Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler. So it's very possible. Yeah, I can see it. AL's weak. Let's say A's get 34 win or 84 wins, and it happens. What's the rationale, Finn?
Honestly, like the top of the lineup, I feel like if they're doing good, they will buy at the deadline. They
Right.
spent money. It's kind of getting to where it's time to get good talent in and try and put this rebuild to bed.
Yeah, I can see it. All right, Finn. I got 2 left. I'll do the less hot one first because I don't think anybody else would even come up with this 10th one. All right, Austin Riley hits 40 home runs this year, has a healthy season. Yeah, he was still Austin Riley last year. He only hit 16. He's been flirting with 40 since he broke out in 21. I think this is the year he hits 40 home runs. Just don't get hit on the fucking wrist again, and you'll be good.
Yeah, getting hit in the wrist doesn't help.
And of course, his numbers last year were, not great. You go and look at the underlying metrics with Austin Riley. It's like with last season specifically, like it was still Austin Riley. His X slug was a 505. It was only a 461 the year before. Batted ball numbers basically in line with what he did in 23. honestly a little bit better than 23. Compared to 22, it's about the same, even though 22 was just crazy from him. And then 21, it's even better than that season, where I believe he hit 36 home runs. I think this is just a return to form. Get more than 470 plate appearances this season, Austin Riley, and let's rack up that home run total. And I think he will lead the team in homers too. That's Austin Riley. Finn, what's your final take you got?
My final take is that there's only going to be one NL West team in the postseason.
Wow. So wait, you're pinching out Arizona, I would assume. You're expecting the Dodgers to break the win record. So, not expecting, but you're saying that it's possible. Who's the NL Central team that sneaks in over Arizona?
The Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay. That's the bold prediction.
Because they get that pound down on the Cardinals a little more and don't have to face the Dodgers as much.
Yeah, but Arizona does get to play Colorado. And the sub 500 Padres. With MVP Fernando Tatis. So like I just I am about to have a take about the Rockies though, Finn. For the final take. I think this is by far the hottest take said today. I think even hotter than the win record being broken. You ready?
Yeah.
Adael Amador comes up midseason and has a batting average that leads the league, but he won't be qualified for the batting title. Ben, you got anything on this one?
No, I don't, but I'm gonna have mad props to you if it actually happens.
Last season he hit a .171 in his 40 major league plate appearances. He didn't make the opening day roster. Finn, I think he's legit. Adael Amador hits. I don't know what the batting average is going to be, but I think it's going to be higher than the National League batting title winner. Shout out to Adael Amador. I didn't really have a batting title prediction, so I was like, hey, let's get a Jeff McNeil 2018 batting title. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's the bold predictions, Finn. Do you want to wrap this one up and grade our takes after, or do you want to grade them on the episode?
You know what? Let's grade it on the episode.
Okay. I have mine written down. I don't know if you have yours written down. Finn, Brent Rooker leads the major league in home runs. How bold on a scale of 1 to 10 is this one?
9.
9? I'm going to bump it down to about a 7. I think I like a 7 there. Spencer Schwellenbach has the highest B-WAR by a Braves pitcher this season.
8.
Yeah, I can see 8. Jacob deGrom wins a Cy Young.
9.
Lawrence Butler goes 30-30.
7.
I'm going to bump it down to about a 6. I think that's by far the most likely. 4 best regular season records are in the National League.
8.
8? Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong there. O'Neal Cruz is a Gold Glove finalist.
6.
Yeah. Blake Snell has a career year and wins the Cy Young.
7.
I think that's pretty bold because a career year from Blake Snell is crazy. I'm gonna bump it up to 8 on how bold it is. Fernando Tatis wins the National League MVP.
9.
9. I was gonna say lower. Like I think that's one of the more likely ones here.
Okay. I'd compromise on like a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 7. I think that's about as likely as a Brent Rooker home run leader, right?
And
Austin Riley hits 40 home runs this season.
8.
I'm gonna bump it down a little bit to a 6. I think it's about a 6 because he was really close for like 3 seasons before last year where he was hurt. And then I'm just gonna put the Adael Amador one as a 10.
I agree. Not sure.
Okay, Finn, do you have yours written down?
I don't.
Okay. White Sox break the loss record, Finn. I think like a 6.
I'm with you there.
Okay, hold up. I'll have to write yours down. White Sox. Okay. What other one did you add?
I had 4 105 loss, which I'd go a 9 because I think that's pretty bold, but I can't go up with Amel Amador just out of the freaking blue. I can't.
Yeah, I can't either, Finn. Like that's crazy. You said Tanner Scott wins rookie of the year, not rookie, but reliever of the year. And just because the volatility of that award, Finn, I think you get an 8. I have to think he's one of the favorites, but like not like the odds on. Yeah, I'll go with 7. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like I feel like that's more likely than Blake Snell having a career year and winning the Cy Young.
I gotta agree. I mean, it's hard to beat. What did he have? A 2 or 3?
Yeah. Okay. Sandy gets traded and gets Cy Young votes.
9.
Yeah.
Because I predicted the league too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Goes to an AL because that additionally makes it harder for him to get Cy Young votes because he's going to spend only like a part of the season in the league. Yeah, I like it. 4 500 plus teams in the AL East.
5.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to a 6 on that, and I'm gonna bump down mine to a 7 on the 4 best regular season records in the NL. I think those are like kind of about the same in likelihood. So, let's see.
Soto MVP.
Soto MVP.
6.
I give it like a 5. You said 6.
I think, 5 is fine, because I really think that one is the most likely of pretty much anything we've said so far, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. Tatis is at a 7, so like, yeah, just a little bit more likely than Tatis. Yeah, I see that one, Finn. All right, I know you had more more predictions. Dodgers set the win record, right?
7.
Oh wow, I was gonna bump that one up to like a 9, Finn.
Okay, we'll do that.
Let's settle at 8. No, Finn, I can't. The win record has to be a 9. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that's gotta be a 9. One. You said out of the blue Cy Young.
8.
No.
You know what? Good 7. just because of general vagueness of that.
I was gonna say like a 4. I'm gonna put it at a 5. Like the likelihood of like the Soto one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I can see that. I know you had more.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You said the A's make the playoffs,
And
and
then I said that the Diamondbacks would not.
yeah, D-backs miss playoffs,
Oh, and did we put the Padres falling off a cliff?
and then Padres sub 500. All right, Finn, Padres sub 500. I give it like a 6.
I'm fine with that.
D-backs missed playoffs. I give it like an 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
A's make the playoffs. I think I also stand with like an 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so we got all of yours. We got all of mine. At least graded on how hot they are. I don't know. We might not end up using that in October, but if we do, that'll be factored in how we grade our. It'll factor in how we grade ourselves in October. Anyways, Finn, do you have anything else before we wrap this short episode up?
No, I don't.
All right, that'll do it for this episode. Next week, the regular season will start. Finn, we'll probably have something to talk about. Uncharted territory. We've never been making episodes live during the MLB season. So, yeah, unless you have anything else, we're gonna wrap this one up and see you guys next week. It'll be on Thursday again. You ready, Finn?
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys on next Thursday.